humans. I'm so excited because we just dropped our
I do use the N-word, but I only say it when I'm around fellow black people, so my friends or my family who are black. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't look black, so when it comes out of my mouth, they're like, whoa.
Okay, this is gonna be a disaster, dude.
You're mixed race, correct?
Yes, sir. I am mixed with African and Asian. I am more Asian than black.
My dad was from El Salvador, and my mom is half Japanese, half Jewish.
My ethnicity is Filipino and black. I do feel more inclined to my black side more than my Filipino side.
My mother is white and my dad is Iranian. All throughout high school, I just pretended I was white because I looked very white.
I am half Chinese, half Russian Jewish.
But
I never really connected to either side, just somewhere in the middle.
My mom is Jamaican,
sort of,
and my dad is Australian. Being mixed race is a race, so I don't feel like I want to have to pick.
People think I'm hot because I'm mixed race. 3, 2, 1, go.
As a mixed person, a lot of people are like, oh my God, like you're like light skinned, you look so nice. Like you don't look like all the other ghetto girls. And I'm like,
oh, exactly.
What is that supposed to mean? That's my aunt. Like,
exactly.
On first dates, most of the time people be like, oh, no wonder you're so attractive, or like, no wonder you're so gorgeous. And I'm just like, ugh. I don't love that reaction.
I've always found like it's like just an awkward thing to bring up in conversation, because there's like all the memes where like people are like, oh, did you know like I'm mixed or whatever, and it's like bringing it up in like the natural flow of conversation is always kind of weird.
I need to see these memes.
Have you not seen like the Logic memes where he's like, oh, I'm biracial, and it's like, you haven't seen
No!
He's just always bringing up how he's like half black, and that's like what the meme is.
I have a question, chat. This sound maybe dumb, dude, but isn't there a distinction between ethnicity and like, you know, actual color or whatever? Like, I feel like the guy over there, dude, he's literally white. Dude, he's like whiter than I am.
I'm allowed to say racial slurs as long as I'm part of that identity.
Oh, God.
3, 2, 1, go.
Me personally, I do not say the N-word. I just don't. It just doesn't flow out right. But like for my Asian side, obviously I can call my like fellow girlies chinks and stuff. But like obviously if someone else
What the fuck?
You get the fist.
I agree. I do use the N-word, but I only say it when I'm around fellow black people, so my friends or my family who are black. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't look black, so when it comes out of my mouth, they're like, whoa.
I try my best to only use the N-word around like my black friends, just because it creates this like weird air when I'm with like white people. It's a slippery slope that I don't like to go down.
Probably makes them really...
I feel, dude, guys, I don't really know how it works, okay? I'm not a political Andy, but guys, he looks, guys.
My black friends, just because it creates this like weird air when I'm with like white people. It's a slippery slope that I don't like to go down.
Probably makes them really uncomfortable.
And actually, like, more than you think, it's not even uncomfortable. A lot of them think it's really cool, and then
that
some people will feel entitled to do that, and then you just don't want to have that conversation.
That was me with my Asian friends.
Yeah.
It's like a lot of Asian people like to go into black culture sometimes.
Yes.
You know?
I did get into a little bit of an altercation in high school for calling white people colonists. That was the thing. And people were like,
10,
that's a racial
9,
slur.
8,
I don't think
7.
it is.
That is not a racial slur.
Personally, I don't feel comfortable using any slurs. If I haven't heard those slurs towards me, then maybe I am not in a position to reclaim them.
How you pass
What?
is more important than your actual race. 3, 2, 1, go.
How you pass? I don't know what that means.
In America today, walking down the street, it matters what you look like. People are gonna judge you based on the race that they perceive you to be. When I walk down the street, people aren't gonna look at me the same way as they look at someone who's perceived as black. And so I just wanna like really acknowledge the reality of that.
I wouldn't disagree with you at all, But at the same time, I think the most important thing is just how you grew up. Someone that has a black parent that doesn't appear black, they were still raised by a black person. They still like, everything that their parents' experience is passed down to them, whether it's through story or just through actions.
I'm actually gonna move over to this line, which is, I guess, more of a middle line, just because I can't do that. Then I'm here. Never mind. So,
I don't agree with everything you're saying, dude.
I'm an actor, and when I go into casting calls, it only matters what I look like, and it only matters what race they think I am, which is a lot of times white, but sometimes I'll get called in for things that are not my ethnicity, and that's because of my career, that's what's important with that.
Yeah, no shit.
Hide some of my racial identity. 3, 2, 1, go.
Even throughout high school, I just pretended I was white completely, and there was a time when my dad picked me up from
Okay, chat, see, this is where I get lost. He says, I pretended I was white, but see, visually, for others, he literally is. But then it's more like his ethnicity. So it's confusing. I pretend I was white, but he's white, so it's kind of like, okay, you could have pretended that you were another ethnicity, and that would make sense in this context. Right?
Even throughout high school, I just pretended I was white completely. And there was a time when my dad picked me up from school. It was a whole thing, and people were saying like, oh, your dad's a terrorist. I had never experienced anything like that, or they'd ask me about it, they'd make bomb jokes, and it hurt to hear people saying stuff like that about my dad.
A similar thing happened to me, like when I was in elementary school. My dad.
Guys, it's a chat. Guys, it's a chat.
He's like a dark-skinned black man, and he's from the hood on top of that. So like he has a certain like aura to him, and a lot of people look at me like, "That's your dad," and I'm like, "Yeah, that's my dad."
The chat made me laugh.
So scary, and I'm like, "Why does he look scary to you? Why should he look scary to you?" And like the only thing that's keeping me away from this strongly disagree is because when I was younger, I just did not accept the black part of myself, and now I do.
I just want to say I'm really sorry, like, to both of you that you felt like you've been put in positions to feel like that. That's just like such a terrible thing to tell someone. No, you can't be every part of who you are.
These past couple years, I've been trying to like reconnect with that part because I shoved it down for so long, and it's been really heartbreaking. The amount of Nowruzes I missed, and the Ramadans I didn't celebrate because I felt so uncomfortable about that.
I think it's important you're taking the steps though. Personally, just I've never tried to hide any part of me. That's always been like the biggest thing for me. Growing up, like I was always proud to be white and I was always proud to be black. That's just how I was raised, and that's always how I was, and I just wanted to be me. So that's what I did.
The reason I'm on this line is because Western beauty standards suck. They really, really got to me. I would be really picky about how I would do my hair and how I would part my hair. And then when I would post YouTube videos or Instagram posts, I would color correct everything to be really blue so that I didn't look yellow. And it was just like, I didn't want to post a photo of me outside because I thought my eyes looked too Asian. A lot of internalized things that made me hate myself and my appearance. And now I feel much more accepting
kind of literally racist?
Being mixed and being everything that I am. But I am here because I have felt like I wanted to hide a part of me because it would have been easier for me.
I agree. Like when I was younger, I used to want to be lighter. I used to get made fun of. I would always get the question, are you adopted? You're not Asian. And it just made me feel so bad about myself that I just was so confused because I didn't fit in any single pocket of anybody in any friend groups. I couldn't hang out with the Chinese kids because they're like, you don't look Chinese. I don't hang out with the black kids because I don't sound black. And they say I'm whitewashed. So my whole entire life, I've literally battled within like, what the hell am I?
I've used my races to my advantage. 3, 2, 1.
No.
Maybe. So I feel like I just have to say that when writing college essays, every single one of my essays was about being half Iranian and half white. Like when I was applying for scholarships, that's what I would talk about because it was something that I really felt passionate about, but also that something that I knew would catch people's interest. And I think I I don't feel guilty about using that because I think it's a double-edged sword and there's lots of repercussions for being mixed race too.
Well, I kind of interpreted it differently. Like, I haven't really abused my power like that. Like, sure, that is a way like that.
Abuse my power, okay.
I haven't done anything else besides that on like my college apps.
So I don't know if I can do this, but maybe I'm gonna like straddle these two. You can't do that. Okay, then I'll like daintily pose over here. But like, my grandma was Jewish, and I did go on Birthright, which is a free trip for people of Jewish descent. And even though I don't like identify a lot with the Jewish religion, I did get a free trip to Israel out of being part Jewish. So I guess that's like kind of something to my advantage. But I really loved my time there.
Hey,
got a
free
lot
trip.
out of it. Yeah.
Free trip.
Yeah, but you know.
Slay.
I've like gotten like jobs for being half Asian, for like I worked at mostly predominantly Asian businesses, and as soon as I say I speak fluent Cantonese, I got the job.
But that's like a skill.
I know.
Like
it
you
is
can
a
be
skill.
proud of it. It's a
No,
skill
I
that you
love
have.
it. No, trust me, but it does get me job opportunities better than other people who are like, you know, white or black, who get the same positions, but they would hire me because I'm half Asian and like I speak the language and stuff.
Okay, I moved because I was thinking more about the question. When I first heard the question, I was thinking like, do I have any kind of advantage? And then I was thinking about how like being part white does give me some privilege and like some advantages, but I don't think I've used that for like scholarships or any of that, and I try to really stay conscious when I'm in like an Asian space to not take up too much of the space.
You want to know what I was
because of my whiteness, you know? Like it's like
But
it's a
still
fine
your
line.
space. Like you're still
Yeah.
Asian.
I guess I've always been kind of cautious about that. But thinking more about the question, I was like, no, I should be on this side.
The issue of racism can be solved by interracial love.
What?
3, 2, 1, go.
What are those questions?
This is from the audience?
There are way too many articles about an interracial couple where it's later find out that the white part is saying a racial slur about their child. Just to boil it down to like love, it really can't be done.
First of all, that. Second of all, there's a lot of, sorry to name names, but like a lot of white women who want to get with black men trying to achieve their light-skinned baby who's like just the perfect amount of tan with the perfect amount of curls.
Yeah, like raise your hand if you've heard someone be like, oh my gosh, I would have such gorgeous mixed babies.
What the
like,
fuck?
Definitely heard that, and we're all gorgeous, don't get me wrong. But that's super problematic to say, one. And two, I'm over here because like there is like no one solution to racism.
Let me make it really clear that a white person having a kid with a black person does not mean that that person does not have
what about the opposite? Couldn't that go both ways? Wait, oh my fucking, I'm getting cramped like crazy.
You've heard someone be like, oh my gosh, I would have such gorgeous mixed babies. Like, definitely heard that, and we're all gorgeous, don't get me wrong. But that's super problematic to say, one. And two, I'm over here because like there is like no one solution to racism.
Let me make it really clear that a white person having a kid with a black person does not mean that that person does not have racist tendencies or is not discriminatory at all. I love my dad to death.
Okay, what about the opposite? I don't get it. What about the opposite? What about if it's a black person trying to have a kid with a white person? Then what about that?
But
I don't understand it.
Sometimes he just says things where it's like, you shouldn't be saying that.
Plus, like, even in like a future, if like America becomes super mixed and like everybody's mixed, if not racism, we'll still have like colorism and different nuances within racism. It's not gonna go away just because people are more mixed. Like you can say like mixed people are the future or whatever, but it's not gonna solve racism.
Man, this was pretty trash. Man, that was really trash, I have to be honest. That was just really just confusing. Yes, I don't agree with a lot of things that they said, to be honest. Yeah, man, when is it, dude?